Hopefully you guys can hear me this time. I think it's okay. Okay, so hi again, nice to meet you. My name is Jihoon, and today I want to talk about travel to Korea after Corona. I'm from Korea and I live in Hamamatsu now. First, I want to talk about myself a little bit. I was an exchange student in a university in Tokyo, 2010, and I had many good friends in the university from all over the world and travel around Tokyo and sometimes Osaka. And this photo is me in Mount Fuji, 2010 summer. These are my friends, and I hope they're okay with me using this photo. Anyway, we had fun time, and this was my dormitory, and we had like party once in a week. We made the food from like their country, so I made food from my country, and we gathered in the dormitory and had dinner together. So it was very good experience, and I also had cherry blossom season in Japan. It's the photo from my dormitory. I studied in Germany and I worked in Mongolia as well. These are all the photos that I took. I think it was 2013. I was exchange teacher in some city in Gobi Desert, and I didn't put photo here, but I also worked in Australia for a while. And today I want to show you some photos of Korea. Last year I also did this one, this international forum, and talking about my hometown, which is Jeollanam-do. But this time I want to talk about traveling to Korea because we're not able to travel now because of coronavirus. So it's like planning travel to Korea after coronavirus. And I put some photos of the place that I want to visit. So first one is Gangwon-do. Gangwon-do is like, this place is Seoul, so Gangwon-do is coldest area in South Korea. This is Pyeongchang, and its famous temple called Walljeongsa. There's beautiful scenery, especially in winter, because Pyeongchang is a very snowy place. And of course you guys would know there was Winter Olympic in Pyeongchang. So if you visit there, you'll have chance to try some winter sports, not just snowboard and ski. There's some special winter sports like ski jump. So if you want to try out, you should visit Pyeongchang. And there's also a place called Daegwallyeong in Pyeongchang. It's a little bit higher ground than other places than place in Korea, which is it's colder in winter and it's cooler in summer than other place. There's really huge sheep ranch. You can meet many peaceful sheep and cows and enjoy this nice scenery and sometimes feed the sheep. And I also read that this sheep ranch is the biggest green pasture in Asia. So it has very good view. And I also found out that maybe you don't know this drama. It's drama called Dokkebi. I think it's on Netflix. And some scene was taken the city. Maybe you guys know. And one more city from Gangwon-do is Chuncheon. Actually, I've never visited the city. I don't know why, because it's very famous tourist spot. And it's close to Seoul, so I think it takes 2 hours by train. And there is a famous song called Train to Chuncheon. There is a rail bike. It's a famous tourist spot as well. Like, you have to ride bike on the rail. It's good exercise, also good spot to take photos. So many friends and like couples go there. And Chuncheon is famous for 닭갈비. I think you've already known this food, but it's like the original 닭갈비 is like you eat like really big plate, big metal plate, and cook there. So, and also it's very spicy, but it doesn't have to be spicy. You should try out. And there's also a small island called Namisom. It's special because this island is surrounded by river, not sea. It's a very small island and famous for like many dramas and movies were taken here because of nice scenery and like trees and many gardens. But I think you cannot stay in this island. You have to go out before it gets dark. And next spot is Tongyeong. And this place I also have never been to. I don't know why, because it's not too far away. Anyway, Tongyeong is especially famous for like coastal view and many seafood dishes. This cable car is the longest in Korea. It's like 2,000 meter, and it has very good view of coastal view. So people go there and take photos. And this mountain is called Mount Miryuk. It's very wide view. So it's more like city, but also countryside. There is something that I really want to try is Skyline Luge. There are like many types of racing tracks, and there are teachers to teach you how to ride it, and you can enjoy riding this racing course. And this is very small village called Dongpirang and Seopirang. This village was about to be bulldozed because it's too old and like the city decided to get rid of, but the people who lived there didn't want it, so they hired some artists and like they painted the walls and made some beautiful sculptures, so it became kind of famous tourist spot, so the city decided to keep it. Anyway, people come here and take a lot of photos because there are a lot of murals. And many artists have their sculptures and their paintings there. And Tongyeong is also famous for seafood, as I said. And this kind of food is called dachi. It's kind of weird that I've never heard of this word before I searched for it, because I grew up in Jeollanam-do and dachi is, I think, dialect from Gyeongsang-do area. It means that you prepare food for like the amount of alcohol that you ordered, So dachi is not like for just dinner. It's for drinking alcohol. So you eat this food with alcohol, and it's mainly seafood. And people try many seafood like this, but also there is honey bread that everyone buys. If you go to, it's kind of tourist spot. What's that? That you keep it for souvenir and give it out to your friends. And there are many small islands around Tongyang because it's in a coastal area. And then this island, Changsado, was it got famous because of some drama. I think only one scene was taken in this drama, but yeah, many Chinese tourists visited this island. And next one is Jeonju. Jeonju is in Jeollabuk-do, and it had very big and famous Hanok village. The citizens kept this village to keep their traditional houses from like old times, and they fixed it. Like some people still live here, but some people make it into like Hanok stay or Hanok cafe. So people keep this area like old town of Korea. And this photo is what I took like years ago when I visited there. And this shrine is Gyeongjijeon. This shrine is famous because the founder and the first king of Joseon Dynasty, his portrait was here, so we had chance to see that. And Jeonju, when you go to Jeonju, everyone tries hanbok out. These days, hanbok is very fusion. Like, I don't think this kind of hanbok existed like in Joseon Dynasty, but these days people make it like dress and they try out. Well, of course, if you want to try something traditional, there's traditional hanbok as well. So you can borrow it for like half day and walk around Jeonju and leave photos for Instagram, something like that. And there is traditional market. I mean, every part of Korea has traditional market, but this market is big, and you can try the atmosphere and some food from Jeollado area. And Jeonju is famous for bibimbap. I don't know why, but everyone tries bibimbap when you go to Jeonju. Also, as I said, some Hanok became cafe. It's the food and drinks are trendy, not like the outside. Yeah, there are really many types of snacks, and because of, I think it's tourist area, everyone visits there and tries some special snacks and food, and they want to leave it as photos. So anyway, you don't have to find some special cafe because it's everywhere when you visit there. So I recommend you to try out. And for the last, it's Jeollanam-do, which is my hometown, and I recommend this place, Damyang, because it's kind of countryside, but it's also famous for its views. And this road is Metasequoia, like many CF, like advertisement, movies, dramas were taken there, and it changes its scenery every season. So it's a good place to walk around with your boyfriend, girlfriend, your friend. And because it's countryside, Hanok stay is pretty cheap in Damyang. You can just rent it out and stay there for like a few nights. I took my wedding photo snap with my friends in Damyang. yeah, you can leave many good photos. And Damyang is famous for bamboo gardens. There are like many places, but the most famous one is Junnogon. And as you see, there are like a lot of bamboo trees. Yeah, because of those bamboo gardens, there's some famous food called daetongbap. It's like you put like many grains and rice in the bowl made of bamboo, and they steam it. And there's also tteokgalbi. It's like chopped meat, and like you marinate into some spice and soy sauce, and they fry it, and you eat the daetongbap with those meat. And you can keep those bamboo bowl after you eat it. I think if you visit some countries, in this case Korea, you should have some special experiences that you cannot really have in other places. It's just my recommendation. Well, it's traditional wedding. There are some websites that you can book, or like if you just go to Insadong, which is some famous town in Seoul, you can try this traditional wedding outfit and like leave some photos. And like sometimes there are festivals, you can also do that, but you can do it any time of year. And there are many experiences like kimchi making if you're interested. And also songpyeon is the rice cake that we have in Full Moon Day of Korea. It's more like obong in Japan. And jjimjilbang, I think many of you have seen it in Korean drama. It's like sauna, but it also has like hot baths like Japan, and they give you some uniforms, and you can have some jjimjilbang food as well. This one's taekwondo experience. It's traditional martial art in Korea. There's I think 1-day trial with taekwondo martial art uniform. And like in Jeonju, you can do the hanbok experience in Seoul as well. There are like really many types of hanbok. If you want to try the queen outfit, you can do that. King outfit, or like maybe knight or like servant. Yeah, whatever you want to try. There will be some outfits and a hat. And the cooking experience, there are a lot of cooking classes. As I said, there are some town called Insadong, so if you are interested in, you should visit there. You can try some famous recipes like bulgogi or kimchi or galbi, and even some like royal cuisines. Also, there is craft one if you like to make something like me. I always try out some craft when I travel, and this one is for hanbok. It's more like ornament or accessories that you keep when you're wearing hanbok. So it would be nice if you try this out. And some Korean food. I think everyone knows bingsu. Bingsu is kakikori in Japan, but it's really different for me because Japanese kakikori has ice and syrup mostly, but Korean bingsu has like a lot of different things on it, and the big difference is we mix it before we eat it, not like just eat the ice on top. Mainly it's bean paste or ice cream or rice cake and condensed milk like that, but really every shop has different bingsu, so I want you to try some things that you've never tried. Of course it has high calorie, not like Japanese kakikori. And the Korean rice cake. It's kind of surprising that I cannot really find many types of rice cake in Japan. We have a lot of snack type of rice cake and like Korean old snacks. It's called yuga, and the middle one is yakwa. It's made of grain, and they fried it and put some sweet stuff called chochong. It's not sugar, but yeah, it's sweet as sugar. And everyone loves kamjatang. It's like when you go to university, when you go to say meeting and drink out with your seniors, then we always had kamjatang with like soju. So if you haven't tried, maybe you guys should try. Well, it's not for like one person, so maybe should be like 3-4 people go together and eat it. And this one is totori. Totori is acorn, donguri, and they make it like konjac. And we eat some. We put some vegetables and put some spice and eat it with makgeolli. It's kind of a little bit bitter, but I like it. So if you haven't heard or haven't tried it, you guys should try. This one, some Korean people love it, some Korean people hate it. It's called kongguksu. This soup is made of bean. They grind the bean and make the soup. I think if you haven't tried, it must be fresh. So yeah, please try it. And I want to talk about some special food. And some people might find it disgusting, but I want to talk about it because I think most Japanese friends of mine already know what's famous food in Korea, so they want to know something special. And I want to know how brave are you to try this out. This one is gejang. I think this one's like level 1. This one's crab marinated in soy sauce. And this one's spicy sauce, chili pepper powder, kind of. I mean, I like it. Some people might not like it, and it's raw crab. So. And this one is from my hometown. It's nakji, which is a small octopus, and they chop it and put sesame oil and sesame on top and mix it and eat it. But the fun thing is it's still alive, so you can feel that it's stuck on your tongue. The nakji, the octopus leg. So it has very interesting taste, and like when you chew it. And in some restaurant you mix it with raw beef, and raw beef, of course, it's very fresh, so it's kind of very expensive cuisine. But if you want to try a new taste, it's my recommendation. And this one is something that I cannot eat because this fish is freshwater eel. It's called loach, the fish, but I think it looks more like eel. Anyway, people wash it and they boil it and grind the whole fish. So people say it's very nutritious. I really just can't stand the idea of grind the whole fish. Anyway, many people like it, and even my brother likes it, so recommend it. And this one, I don't know how many people can try. This one is hanji. It's made of ox blood. You make it like jelly of the cow blood and boil it. But when you try this soup out, you will never know that it's actually blood. I didn't know for a few years when I was young. Um, and 해장국 means that it's hangover soup. The after the night is you're like drunk and you have hangover in the morning and people drink 해장국. So yeah, try that. And this one is also from my hometown. It's called 홍어 spot. It's called 홍어. It's raw fish like sashimi, but it's fermented, so it has very strong smell. I can't have it, but people who have it, like my parents or like someone I know, it tastes very different when you eat, but I couldn't stand the smell, so I couldn't try it. And samhap is like you eat 3 food together. It's kimchi and steamed pork, and people eat it with 홍어. So if you're brave enough, you should try. And this one's the top level. Not the taste, it's the look of it. When I was young, I really didn't know what that is, so I ate it. And it's salty and I don't know, it's not that bad, but when you find out what it is, it's kind of hard to chew anymore. It's silkworm. This food got famous during the wartime in Korea, like Korean War. People didn't have resource of protein, so this worm is they make silk, so that's the leftover. After you finish making silk, people make it in the food. I mean, it tastes okay, just if you can stand its insect. I mean, there are many insect cuisines in the world, so it's not that bad. So if you're really brave, you should try. It's still very common street food. And before you travel to Korea, I want to talk about the transportation. There are like 2 major transportation for traveling. One is KTX. It's like Shinkansen. It's fastest train and it goes to like really big stops, but it doesn't go to the small countryside. So I mean, if you're hurrying up or like if you don't have enough time, you should take KTX. But if you have enough time to travel, there's slower and local trains that goes everywhere. And you can take KTX from Seoul Station, so it's really approachable. This one is also express buses. They're really going everywhere, every city of Korea. And if you take plane to Incheon, there is airport train. Airport train. If you take airport train, you can also take subway, and express bus station is actually the subway stop, so it's really easy to find and it's a lot cheaper than KTX, but it's comfy. Just one thing is comfy is comfortable. And one thing that you should try is premium buses that started like a year ago. Still, it's cheaper than KTX, so I recommend this buses. Just one thing is that you don't have toilet in the bus. And most photos I got from this website, english.visitkorea.or.kr. And if you want to experience something that I showed you today, there are all the links in this website, so I recommend you to visit. And thank you so much. I had more things to talk about, but I think time is almost up. So if you guys have any questions, please ask me. Yeah, time's almost up. Hopefully the coronavirus finishes as soon as possible and we can travel again. If just one, I think you guys can But you guys can get most of the information that I showed you today from this website, and it's in English, so it's not that hard to read. Just there is no Japanese. I don't know how to see the questions. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day.